So you want to make that money with your podcast. You want to know how to make money with your podcast? Let's talk about it. What's up, pod influencers? My name is Ozil, and I want to welcome you to the Podcast Influence YouTube channel, where I help you amplify your influence with podcasting. And on this channel, I'm going to share with you tips, insights, and strategies on how to pro up your podcast with style and influence. And I can't believe I did an intro like that. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? Okay, all right. So, sometimes, a lot of people don't realize that when you're doing these YouTube channels, by the way, you need to have fun with it. You need to let flow. You need to have fun. Kind of like podcasting. When you're behind the mic, the most important thing is to have fun. So anyways, that's for another video. But today's video, let's get right into it, is 5 ways to monetize your podcast. You want to make that money with your okay, all right, stop, Ozzy. Okay, all right. So before we dig in to the how to monetize your podcast content, I want to say something. All right, bring it in. Closer. Let's talk about it. All right. Check this out. If you want to start a podcast to make money, stop watching this and check out another video, because podcasting is not about monetizing. Podcasting is about building influence. And with building influence, you have to embrace being patient. All right. Now you're like thinking, man, this video is about monetizing. Shit, what's up, man? Give me the goods. Okay, I get it. Hold on. I just want to say that because there's a lot of people who get into the podcasting game that want to monetize right out the gate. And it's important for me as your podcast coach that I need to school you on the real. And the real is it takes time. It takes time to really set into your brand, to build an audience. And when you build an audience, you can monetize. Why? Because you have an audience, right? It's kind of like a business, right? You can't sell to nobody, but if you have clients you can sell to, right? It's obvious, right? Same thing applies to podcasting. You have to be patient. You have to nail down your brand. You have to build an audience, and then you can start thinking about ways to monetize your podcast. So I just want to get that out, okay? Because a lot of you, who follow me know that I'm very passionate about building influence and building an authentic audience, right? A genuine connection with your listenership. So I just want to get that out, okay? And let's assume that you have your brand down, you have your audience, or you're just curious, okay? You're curious. You're in the beginning phases of your starting your podcast, but we can always go back to this, and this kind of could give you some ideas on some ways to monetize your podcast. So let's dive right in. All right, one way to monetize your podcast is through affiliate marketing. What is an affiliate marketing? What is affiliate marketing rather? It's simply a referral program, right? You mention it to somebody, you enjoy the product, you enjoy the service, and you say, hey, listen, this is a great service for your business, for your venture. They use it and you get a small kickback. You get a commission from referring them to the product or service. So affiliate marketing is a great way, especially in the beginning. So I started monetizing my podcast through affiliate marketing. You can set up an Amazon account. You can set up an affiliate program with pretty much any specific industry or software company or anything that relates to your particular podcast niche, and ask them, do you guys have an affiliate program? And that's a great opportunity for you to mention it in your podcast. And for example, when I started my podcast, I had an affiliate program deal with HostGator, which is a hosting company for websites. And I would say, hey, listen, they would give me a code And if you are interested in starting a podcast, you need a website, here's an affiliate code, and I would get a small kickback from that. So affiliate marketing is the easiest way. It's the easy layup in monetizing your podcast, frankly, right out the gate. So an opportunity for you to explore. So another way to monetize your podcast is become your own sponsor. So let's say, for example, I'm a podcast consultant, right? Podcast coach. By the way, if you're interested in starting a podcast, link down below. I can say, hey, this show is sponsored by Ozeal Media, ozealmedia.com, where I help you launch and grow your podcast in 30 days. So I'm priming myself up and I'm leveraging what I do and becoming my own sponsor. So I know there's a lot of podcasters that get into the game that are coaches, that have services and products that they want to introduce to their guests. Become your own sponsor. It's just a great way to kind of funnel them back into your website. So that's something that a lot of podcasters don't think about in the beginning, but it's a great opportunity to market your product and service. Now, if you go heavy and start getting too spammy, then you don't want to do that, but there's nothing wrong promoting your products or services to your listeners right out the gate. So become your own sponsor. Another option is the donation feature. A lot of podcasters, once they have an audience, they include a donation feature like Patreon, right? Where people can donate and get, I think there's like different tiers, and you can give them special offers. And if they're just a fan, they can donate up to just only $1, for your podcast. So that's a great opportunity to let them know that you appreciate tips, and people are getting, free value from you. And people just want to be generous and say, hey, listen, I want to support this podcast. Let me go ahead and, give them $1 a month or $5 a month. And I believe you can do a lot of tiers. And there's a lot of podcasters that are super successful with the Patreon model and the donation model, where they're getting monthly income, reoccurring income with services like Patreon. I was listening to a podcast and I forgot the name, but they included their Venmo account. And they say, hey, if you would like to tip the podcast, you can Venmo us at, and they were making some money from tips. So that's another fun feature to do. And I think one of the things that you do want to include, if you decide to go the donation route, whether it's Patreon or Venmo or PayPal, give them a shout out, like give them something. So if you leave a tip, give them a shout out. People like to hear the special shout outs and hear their name on the podcast. So make sure there's an incentive, and people are more willing to tip you out if you're going to show them some love. So that's another idea you can take and implement in your podcast. The fourth way to monetize your podcast is digital products, online courses, software, services, apps. You can include that, and once again, share that on your podcast and funnel them back into your website. You should always, by the way, have them funnel back to the website where they can listen to your podcast, because they can be exposed to the work that you do. So if you have digital products, this is a great opportunity to make some money off that. Once you have an audience, they'll definitely dig into it, and you can make some pretty good cash. And last but not least, merchandise is another opportunity to monetize your podcast. So let's say you have mugs and t-shirts, stickers, pins. I mean, you can go on and on, journals. This is a great opportunity for you to promote physical products. So you can set up with teespring.com or printful.com and set it up where they can basically be the third party, where they make purchases through their website and then they send it off, or they can go to your website and purchase the merchandise there. Merchandise is definitely a great opportunity to monetize your podcast. All right, guys, those are 5 opportunities to monetize your podcast. Hopefully it gave you some ideas on how you can make money from your podcast. That's a common question that I get from a lot of, especially new podcasters. How can I make this into a business? And a lot of us are business-minded content creators, and we're building influence, but we also want to build a business behind it. And podcasting is just a great opportunity to really build authentic trust, to be intimate with the listeners, and to cultivate that, right, through consistent free value that you're producing on a weekly basis or daily basis. So if you podcast and consistent and show up and you deliver great content, you're going to develop a following. And with that following, there's a lot of opportunities to monetize your podcast. But it takes time. It takes for you to be patient and mindful of the fact that it does include a lot of grit, a lot of determination, and being consistent with your platform. So hopefully they gave you some ideas. I have a ton other ideas on how to monetize your podcast, but maybe I'll leave it up for another video. But if you enjoyed today's content, I highly recommend and would greatly appreciate if you subscribe to the YouTube channel down below. Hit the notification button to stay first in line with all the latest content, and also join the newsletter. There's a link down below. I started a newsletter, and I'll be sure to email you directly in your inbox once I release a video. So far it's been great. I've been releasing videos every Thursday. Some of it is raw and uncut. I want to do product and reviews that are like fancy and cool, and I just want to include so much, and I'm always looking for new ideas for content. So if you have anything that you need help with, please email me at ozealmedia11@gmail.com. And of course, if you are looking for one-on-one podcast coaching, I'll make sure that I link it up down below. You can hit me up and book a session with me, all right? So we can get on a Zoom call and allow me to help you on your podcast journey, all right? So that's it. Once again, I wanna say that this is brought to you by The Work Lodge, theworklodge.com. They didn't pay me to say this, but I want to give a big shout out once again to Mike Tacker, who has an amazing podcast, Mike Tacker Podcast. It's a podcast that's very inspirational, it's entrepreneurial, and he has been generous enough to allow me to work out of his workspace. So super excited. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos that I'm producing here. I'm gonna try to produce a lot more videos here. I really like it here. So if you're in the Houston or Dallas area, check out the Work Lodge, worklodge.com, and of course the Mike Tacker Podcast. Highly recommended. All right, guys, shout out to Mike Tacker, by the way. All right, thank you so much. See you guys next week. I'm Ozeal. Peace and one love.